Hello and welcome to On Point. I'm Chidbachian. Los Angeles is home to dozens of comedy clubs where a few lights and a single microphone are your only companions. Many famous comedians like Will Ferrell, Kristen Wiig, Maya Rudolph, and John Lovitz started their careers in LA. We went to the streets to ask people why comedy is so popular.
It's like this weird craving that once you get a few laughs, it's like the only thing that you keep, you think about it. I dream about, I wake up and I will write jokes in the middle of my dreams. I have dreams all the time of, being on stage and not having material. It's in me more than, it should be, probably, but, yeah.
I go to comedy shows to see new talent, because everybody here is going to be famous eventually or something, or hopefully, Yeah, just finding, getting away, someplace to laugh, escape from the day-to-day, and just checking out folks to see what they have to say.
Well, I go to comedy shows for a lot of different reasons. In search of entertainment, I think is most top of the list. The other thing is we live in Los Angeles, which is a city that is blessed with a lot of talent, especially with a lot of funny people. And I like to see young people who maybe aren't as established, because that's where all the new funny stuff is really going to come from, and not from the stodgy old people who've been doing it, although they're wonderful for 25, 30 years. Don't get me wrong, Chris Rock making $1 million or $20 million on his Netflix show. It's a wonderful thing, and I would absolutely pay to see Chris Rock, but at the same time, it's far more exciting to find someone at a place like this where you don't even know if they're funny or not, and all of a sudden, if they're really, really funny, it's like, maybe I might see that person on SNL someday, and it's a big thrill. It's good to live in LA because of all the talented people who are here.
The saying laughter is the best medicine is actually quite true. Listening to comedy can make any bad day turn into a good day. And according to a study from the National Institutes of Health, comedy can also help reduce people's anxiety, nervousness, and even make a person more confident. Laughter is also good for your health. Researchers from Oxford University found the more you laugh, the more endorphins you release. People who have done improv say they've gained more confidence, were able to think on the spot, and improve their communication skills. Justin Worsham has been doing improv and comedy his whole life. Now as a radio board op, he says he uses improv skills in his daily work.
It gets you used to thinking on your feet and gets you out of that kind of self-critical editing mind. And that is applicable. Like when I did improv full time, we would give workshops to corporate managers. It's across the board. It helped me in comedy because when I started doing stand-up, it helped me to write material fast. When I got the job here at the radio station, you have to be able to have an idea for a bit and create it on the fly.
On Point has more on the story. Here's Sophie Ashley.
Thank you, Alexi. Joining me today, we have improv student and actor Brandon Killham, stand-up comedian Ashley Craib, and improv teacher Doug Kayne. Thank you all for joining me today.
Thank you.
There are so many categories under the umbrella of comedy. You've got improv, you've got stand-up. What's the biggest difference between stand-up and improv? And well, this goes to all of you, starting with Doug.
I've done both. I've had more success with both. Stand-up, it's just you. You're by yourself, which means that when you're funny, it's all you. When you're not, as I've had that many times, it's all you. Improv, what's great about that is that you have a team usually. There's somebody else with you who not only gets to set you up to be funny, but you also get to set them up to be funny. It's a nice sharing type of experience.
Yeah. What about you, Ashley?
I've actually done both also. I've found much more success with stand-up because it is just you. So you get to write the jokes, you get to be funny, because with a team you have to depend on someone else to be funny and set you up. And there's a lot of times where they might fall flat, and you're like, cool, now I have to get this going, and it may just never pick up. So with stand-up, it's just you on the stage, which I prefer.
And Brandon?
Well, I've kind of dabbled a little bit in stand-up, mostly improv, but what I've always seen is, there are negatives to both. Like Doug said, it's a team effort with improv, so somebody might get all the glory even though everybody else is right behind them. And with stand-up, it's kind of this is going to sound negative, but it's inherently selfish. You kind of have all of the you're trying really hard for yourself, and it doesn't mean anything negative. It's just a difference between a private lesson and group therapy or something like that.
Yeah. With Vine, Instagram, Snapchat, how do you think social media has changed comedy? And this, again, goes to all of you.
Social media, you can produce a sketch, put it out same day, and it could go viral, it could not, but either way, everyone you're friends with on Facebook, anyone that follows you is able to see it. Whereas before, you're relying on YouTube, which is hard to get views. It's so much easier now with social media to get people to notice you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're able to get, and this is one of the cases where the word viral is actually a good thing, to be able to go worldwide. And so I know that back in the days of the pervy MySpace, Dane Cook really took advantage of that and connected with a whole bunch of fans, which means now you have a national, even a worldwide presence, so that whenever you show up somewhere, you've got fans. Whereas before, it would just, like you said, word of mouth would be that you have to do a lot of the work ahead of time.
And pretty much the thing that I've noticed most is editing. Like whenever you make a video, it's really fast and it has like maybe good editing, maybe bad editing. And it's bringing up the tempo of comedy all over the place. If you've noticed, more and more comedians are making shows that have like really quick wit or really fast like cuts. And I think that's kind of a result of like the YouTube craze with sketches.
Yeah. Brandon, how has your experience participating in improv growing up affected your childhood or affected your own experience growing up?
Wow, a lot. Pretty much when I was a kid, I had a little bit of social skills. You know, I could talk to people. I wasn't like too shy. But like after improv, I learned that like you can kind of get up in front of people and it doesn't matter what you say as long as you don't offend anybody or, you know, mistreat anybody.
That's my whole act.
Don't we know it? But yeah, I think it made me a lot more, it kind of made me nicer to people. It made me want to like talk to more people and see what their jokes and what their opinions on me were.
Okay. Doug, being an improv teacher, what are some behaviors or characteristics you've witnessed come from students after taking comedy classes?
You mean like in the beginning or when they finally shake off
or
all that
maybe
stuff?
what you notice, yeah, exactly what
Usually at
they're-
the beginning, and there's no disrespect on this one, but a lot of times there's a lot of stand-up people that are like, oh, I'm going to do improv now, and it's the look at me mentality. It's the I'm going to be funny, and I'm like, no, you're not. Because it's the aspect of improv is the team aspect. You're funny as stand-up. Different set of skills are necessary for improv. And what has to happen first is you let them sort of play out that look at me, the go right for the toilet humor, the bathroom humor, the drunk humor, all that kind of stuff, and let's start being clever. Whereas with stand-up, you're immediately going into being clever. Improv usually takes a little bit of a learning period, and that learning period is different for everybody. Some people, they get it right away. Other people, it's going to take a long time. I remember for me, the first year doing improv, I sucked. I'm not even going to lie. I could do no right, and all of a sudden it just clicked, and I was like, oh, so got it, and you keep working towards that breakthrough moment, and it's great to see when that happens.
Yeah. Ashley, how has your experience in comedy been as a woman? I know that, or do you think that people respond differently to humor coming from men and women?
Yes. I've been told I can't do certain jokes by other people because I am a female, and then that makes me want to do the jokes even more. Opposite of Brandon, I like to see how far I can push the envelope and see what I can get away with that's usually offensive, and see if I can make people laugh though. Like, yeah, this is an offensive topic, but do you think it's funny? Like, I don't know, there's something about being clever about something that's so topical that people are afraid to touch on.
Yeah.
Which is harder as a female because you're expected to be super feminist and you're in this box as a female comedian that you're supposed to do on stage, and I don't want to be in that box. So.
Well, even, actually brings me to my next point is women are often hypersexualized, and we're sometimes taught to be conservative and desirable and quiet. And what is your advice to women trying to hone in on that funny side that they have and be okay with that?
I would say don't listen to the classes that you take or how they teach you to write jokes. Whatever you're saying in regular conversation that seems funny, if that's not how you're on stage, you need to bring that on stage. You should like 100% always be yourself. Don't ever try to feel like you have to be conservative or safe on stage.
Yeah. And Doug, like I said, as an improv teacher, what is your advice to female students who may battle with that?
Really, it's a matter of finding your own humor. I mean, it's a really weird double standard that exists, that guys can get away with everything, but no, women, it's going to be pigeonholed, and you see that a lot. And if you're just yourself and not trying to be the sex pot, the this, don't be anything you're not. You know, be intelligent, be funny, be brash, be rude, be everything. And it'll be great when we finally get to the point where it's kind of like, you know, what's it like being a woman in comedy, as opposed to saying, what's it like being a comedian?
Yeah.
You know, that would be an amazing time where we stop worrying about the whole artificial gender divide, let's say, in terms of what's funny and what's not. Because if it's funny, it's funny.
Yeah. This question's for all of you. What would you say the benefits are with comedy in general? And that can go from self-esteem to job opportunities. Whatever you feel, what do you think that the benefits are?
How much time do we have? I teach high school in my spare time. I'm a full-time high school teacher, and the comedy goes a long way with connecting with the students. They're always going to try to test you, and I'm kind of known as being quick with the wit and with a somewhat playful put down on them. It's like, oh, Kayne's got skills. Yeah, don't mess with me type of thing. It adds as far as with the comedy within the class, because the subjects I teach can be kind of dry. No, economics, it's totally exciting. I get bored teaching it sometimes. Making it a little bit more accessible, having that humor that's in there will get them to pay attention a little bit. When you have to do, let's say, a presentation in front of a group of colleagues, throwing in some jokes every now and then, which they're just not used to. With improv, not knowing where things are coming in, and so being able to roll with the punches. Something's not working right, you can go and do something else. Very helpful with job interview skills, and I mean the benefits are numerous. You're still finding them years later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually just got a job for being a comedian because
Nice.
they've seen me on stage and they thought I was funny. So I give tours around mansions now because they thought it would be fun to interact with the guests. They wanted somebody with personality. So that's exactly it. Job interviews, talking in general to people, it just makes you more witty, and it's not hard talking to people. You never have an awkward, silent moment.
Yeah.
And if you do, it's on them completely.
Completely on them, not you at all.
It's not me, it's on them.
And something I've always noticed with comedy is whenever you're in any kind of conversation, you might have like a down moment where I was recently talking to my friend about a very serious topic, and you know, the mood in the room was like, of course, very serious, but you know, I was like, we moved past it, so why do we have to feel this way? So you know, I cracked a quick joke, and we laughed, and we moved on. I mean, it creates a bunch of beautiful opportunities where you can realize that everything in life is fickle. And something that isn't fickle is knowing comedy and knowing when you can make a joke that maybe cheers somebody up, maybe makes somebody's day better. And that has an impact, especially after years of experiencing comedy and seeing what it can do for people. I've seen like tons of opportunities to do something nice for somebody with a joke.
Yeah. I mentioned self-esteem earlier, and improv is said to help with self-esteem and anxiety. I can see how this could be, but I can also see how it can kind of ruin that as well, because say you don't get a laugh, or but what is your opinion on improv or comedy with that struggle?
I think
all of you.
Improv is much better for your self-esteem than stand-up. Stand-up's terrible for your self-esteem. You might have one killer show out of 10. The rest of the time you're at bar shows that you saw me at the other night. There's no one there. There's no one laughing. Everyone wants to have a drink. So improv, you at least have a team.
I laughed. Okay.
So, so you at least have a team to where afterwards you're like, let's go to get a drink, shake it off. Stand up, you're like, I suck as a person. Why am I even doing this? So,
Well, something I noticed with improv is one of my favorite and best teachers, Janice, who is obviously a woman. She's probably like one of the funniest people I'll ever meet, and she has a way of teaching that can make you feel really great about yourself, but if you mess up too much, it can make you feel really bad about yourself. And something I took away from that, because I was younger, it didn't have a lasting impact. It made me feel bad.
I feel like
maybe
it
a day.
did, though.
Well, he's damaged. Let's be honest.
Still talking about it.
Talk to my therapist about this, okay, guys? I'm working through it, I swear to God.
So funny.
But yeah, it didn't make me feel bad for the rest of my life or anything. It just made me acknowledge how to gauge a mistake and which mistakes are bigger than others. And I don't feel terrible when I do improv with her all the time anymore. So I think that speaks volumes about how it can teach you to kind of not feel terrible every time you mess up.
Yeah. And what would you say to someone considering taking comedy classes but maybe doubtful or nervous to take that leap?
Get over it.
There we have
Seriously,
it.
and that's the thing as far as with even with improv itself. I mean, when I do a show, it's an hour-and-a-half long show. So we're playing 10, 11, possibly even 12 different sketches within there, different games. One doesn't go well, get over it. You got the next one. You know, there's no time to sit around and feel bad, because if you do, then you're going to mess up your whole show. It's like there are other people depending on you. So somebody that, let's say, might be scared, get over it. Just do it. What's the worst that will? What is the absolute worst that will actually happen? So you're not funny. Big deal. So what?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the benefits are there, and get out of your comfort zone. If you're not doing something in improv that makes you feel uncomfortable, you're not going to grow.
Yeah. You said your shows are an hour and a half about. With improv, there's no preparation. So is there anything that you do to prepare in any way that you can for the show?
We'll know, like my group, for example, we come up with a lineup ahead of time. So we know what different improv games we're playing and in what order and who's in it. Mm-hmm. Other than that, that's it. And we'd even gotten to the point where beforehand, we were kind of like, okay, this is the kind of suggestion that we want to get. Where's a place to work? Now we're like, host is going to get it. I don't even care what it is. So it's completely improvised. It's completely made up on the spot. We don't even have any realm of what we're going to even do. We may have certain characters that we may want to work into a particular sketch, but we don't know what the character is going to say yet.
Yeah.
And those are some of the really fun moments where you can just kind of like, did I actually just say that? Yeah, I did. Yeah, okay, I said that, yeah. But yeah, it's the whole comfort thing.
Yeah. Well, we're almost out of time, but before we go, I wanted to show our audience actually how talented our panelists are. And we're going to play a quick improv game called Expert. And for those of you who don't know what this game is, I'm going to assign our panelists an expertise. And I'm going to ask them a series of topics about their expertise, and they are going to have to respond as if they were an expert in the topic. They're encouraged to not stop talking about their topic, and so I'm going to go ahead and assign those now. Doug, you're going to be an expert on teaching dogs how to make cocktails.
Okay.
Brandon, you're going to be an expert in cutting paper. And Ashley, you're an expert in yodeling.
Yodeling.
Yep. So thank you for joining me today on the show. Doug, what was...
Yeah.
What was it that really made you passionate about teaching your canine how to make alcoholic beverages?
Oh, do you have one here? Can I? Do you have a drink? I can have a drink with that. Oh, it's amazing. What we can do is we can sit there and oh, so you go ahead and they're great because dogs can go ahead, they like taste it ahead of time. And it's amazing.
Okay, and what are your favorite drinks for your dog to make?
Oh, it's great. Dirty Russians, because then we love getting like just dirty all the time. Oh, I hate being cleaned up. No, that's not good. Screwdrivers are bad. No, they're sharp. Oh, Bloody Marys. No, I didn't do it. It was like it when I got there.
And what is the process of teaching dogs how to make a drink?
Don't spill. Don't spill. Have bowls ready. Just kind of put it in there and slosh it around, stir it up. And then when you're gonna go out and drink it and get really comfortable, you go around the bowl like 3 times and then you lay down.
Perfect. Wow. Brandon, what sparked your passion with cutting paper?
All right, now I got this. See, I come from a long line of paper cutters. We're the Cutter family. My name is Cutter Slade. It's a family name. Point is, we worked hard in those factories for decades. And what does the Queen give us? She gives us pence on the dollar. I am personally so fascinated with cotton paper because it's a family heirloom. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you, small dog.
So how does one get into the paper cutting industry? If somebody were interested in doing that, what are the steps to doing that?
You're being a little cheeky, I see it. You want to like slip in, cut some paper? Well, you're wrong. You can't just do that. It takes precision. It takes skill. All right. First off, I have to select the paper, which is not easy. I see you're looking at me. Hey, he thinks it's easy. I got this. So you select the paper. It's got to be a beautiful sheen white, or maybe like a slight brownish color. You know, there's some weirdos out there that they like weird colors. Point is, you have to slice each side of it, and then bada bing.
Okay. All right, and what is your favorite part about cutting paper?
My mom. My mom was the first person who introduced it to me. And she told me, little Slade, little Slade, you gotta be cutting paper because in this world, there's a lot of things that won't last, but paper lasts forever.
I've heard that. I've heard that before. Popular quote.
Do you want a drink?
Yes, please.
Yeah, his dog will make you a drink. Okay, and let's get to the yodeler. How long have you been yodeling?
Oh, I've been yodeling for since I was a baby.
Okay. Where does yodeling really originally, or where does it originate from?
Well, it originates from your heart. Your heart. It comes up through your heart. What would you mean?
Can we hear your favorite yodeling?
Oh, I love the classic. Yodel, yodel, yodel. But you have to. People think you just cut it off, but you really. You want to hold it as long as you can. I know we're almost out of time though, so I won't. Keep going.
I noticed that when you talk.
He's got it.
Yeah.
Could we hear a howl from the dog?
Yeah, let's.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Sounds like a British bulldog.
So like
Hater over here. We got a paper hater.
So as I was asking him about how you get into the yodeling, the cutting process, how would you get into the yodeling? How do you, if I wanted to yodel, how would I go about learning that?
Well, first, you want to sit straight. So sit straight with me. Yes, clear your throat, and then just talk, and then let your sentences go.
Okay.
But a little bit louder. Have some confidence in your sentence. You can laugh. You can laugh too. So just be confident. Love it.
Love it. All right. Well, Ashley, what is your ultimate goal in comedy? If you could have any dream. Well,
I want to be on TV.
I want to be a star.
Like, I don't want to be a stand-up. I want to be an actress. But no, eventually, yes. I want to do movies. I want to do comedic movies. I'd like to write comedy, like not just stand-up comedy, but movies, TV. So that's my ultimate goal. It's just like a stepping stone for me. I think I'll always do it as a hobby if I were to get on TV or in a movie or something. But it's not. That's not my bread and butter right there.
When did you know you wanted that?
Since I was a kid. I've always watched SNL, and literally since I've been a child, I used to write sketches and do little shows, and always since I was a baby.
And Brandon, what is your ultimate goal with comedy?
So I don't know if we're supposed to be out of character yet, so I'm just gonna like ease my way out of it. Back when I was a wee boy, back in England, I was supposed to. So I
And it's gone.
for my future, yeah, let's try.
That was confusing.
For my future of comedy, I hope to eventually teach. I want to teach comedy more than anything because I think it's just it's something that a lot of kids need because they don't have it like in their blood, so they need to be taught like this is what's funny. This is something that like a lot of people might enjoy, and you can put a smile on someone's face. And if that's not awesome, then I don't know what is.
Well, thank you. All right, that's about all the time we have for today, and a big thank you to my talented guests.
Thank you.
Where are
For
they?
having us.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid. A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close. I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us. But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words. These are not my words. These are not my words.
Thank you for watching On Point. You can follow us on social media by searching CSUN On Point. You can listen to us on KCSN 88.5 FM on Sunday mornings at 5:30. Also on Sundays, you can watch us on LA 36 at 11:30 in the morning and on Santa Clarita Valley TV at 11 and 5. For all of us here at On Point, I'm Alexi Chidbachian.